Hello, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Psychic Talk. It's Psychic Cafe. Come on into the cafe. Yeah. Grab your coffee or tea, pull up a chair, and hang out with Michelle and I. Hey, Michelle.
Hi, Dax. How are you today?
I'd be better if I had someone making me, a Italian soda.
That's true.
Oh
I'll have to
God.
send him there.
Yes, Italian sodas were my favorite for years before people even started going to Starbucks and knew what an Italian soda was. And they still don't know what an Italian soda is, half the people. Ask them on the
Nope.
street, what's an Italian soda? Uh
Mhm.
I don't
They have no
know.
clue.
It's a soda, but it tastes like spaghetti sauce.
Yes, yes, they are correct.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No, best stuff on the planet, let me tell you. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like, I grew up Italian, so the Italian side of the family, I knew about Italian sodas and espresso and all of that, years before the average American even knew what the hell an espresso was, right? Um, in fact, when I first moved to Seattle, Starbucks wasn't even expanded yet. It was mostly still in that area. Yeah. And it was Seattle's best coffee, which was infinitely better than Starbucks. So when I lived in Seattle, there was big coffee junkies we all were, right? And there was only three kinds of people. The people that went to Starbucks that wouldn't go anywhere else, the people that went to Seattle's best coffee and wouldn't go anywhere else, and the people that went to independent coffee shops and wouldn't go anywhere else. And
There you
then
go.
and then they start to expand, and Seattle's best coffee got into Borders books, so they ended up all around the country and everything. It was great. But then of course Borders went the way of the dodo bird and
Yeah.
Blockbuster Video and everything. There's still Barnes and Noble, but Barnes and Noble has the
Yeah.
Starbucks in. So
Mhm.
but then Starbucks bought Seattle's best coffee.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, but it's still a separate brand. Like you can still get Seattle's best coffee. Like Henry's blend is the best. I love that. And so when I had independent coffee shops up and down the West Coast, I always used Seattle's best coffee as my coffee. And I think I did end up switching to a local roaster. My last one I had in San Diego, there was a local roaster that was great and more cost effective too, because it was being roasted right there. And so, we'd go down and get the coffee and it was fresh all the time. Whereas like with Seattle's Best, we'd have to order coffee for the week, have it shipped down from Seattle, and so you lose a couple, 2, 3 days freshness, and
Right.
it's better just to go down every couple 2, 3 days and get coffee at the local roaster, that literally is still warm from being roasted. It's like, wow.
Mhm.
uh
Yes.
such good stuff. Yeah, I miss that. And by the way, for everybody out there that's new, that's part of my coffee story and part of the reason why Psychic Cafe. It fit for me. It's like, where did I always hang out when I started doing readings? Because there was no internet, you know,
Yeah.
and it was all reading for people. Well, there was psychic friends, the hotline you could call, and stuff. There was telephone readings, but there was no internet. There was no face-to-face video conferencing and everything. I mean, that was all
Yeah.
still Dick Tracy, stuff that didn't exist yet when I started reading. That's how long ago it is. And yeah, it's like I used to hang out in coffee shops and I'd be studying, learning, doing readings for people on the side. And, just that's how I learned. That's how I got started. That's how I got my first paying clients. It was really, really great. And so it made perfect sense, psychic cafe.
Yep.
So I still have that kind of connection. I mean, I'd love to retire and open a coffee shop again, but anything brick and mortar these days, after closing my last brick and mortar coffee shop and doing all this online stuff with websites, the Tarot Guild, radio, and now YouTube shows, Psychic Talk, all the websites I've built and things like that, going back to owning and managing well, of course I could hire a manager, but still owning and managing a brick and mortar type business, even like a metaphysical shop, or it doesn't matter if it's brick and mortar. It is way too much work in my head right now. It's like insane. And then of course when you're doing food, it's even more insane because you have to have all these extra permits and
Mhm.
and food licensing and county health coming in and inspecting all the time, and all the regulations. It is insane. You can't sell a cup of coffee. You can't just buy coffee and sell a cup of coffee. It is the regulations and everything. It is insane what you have to go through, and the licensing and the expense. It's just so expensive, so time consuming, and so much work to do a brick and mortar. I mean, I just can't see doing it. I just can't see doing it. The only way I would do it is if somebody already had all that established and all I had to do was turnkey come in, or do a business where I'm like doing a business within their business. And one of my coffee shops, actually that's how I did one of my coffee shops. I built a coffee bar on the patio coming off of the inside alcohol bar at a French restaurant.
Hmm.
And the French restaurant was only ever open for dinners. So it was like 5 p.m. before they would open their doors. Well, I opened up the coffee, and then we started doing a brunch on Sundays that was jam packed, jam packed with people. And also because I'd open up the coffee shop at 6 in the morning, and I'd close it towards the evening, when they were going to open the restaurant. So they'd open the restaurant, and then one of the guys would still make drinks for anybody that wanted it, like a latte or something like that, but the coffee bar was no longer open at that time. So it worked really, really good like that. Plus, I had the full alcohol bar. So I started making alcoholic coffee drinks.
Hmm.
So I made mocha ritas and java ritas and espresso martinis. And I mean,
Wow.
and you wouldn't think that that would go together, but it did. It was
Interesting.
it was so good. It was so good. But see, now I can still have I can have a cafe. I can have a psychic cafe. And who knows, we might end up having our own coffee brand and sell, French presses and
That's
grinders,
right.
coffee makers, and all the, pour over thingies. And we could do all that, in the psychic
Mhm.
cafe. So
That's
of
right.
course that's down the line, maybe 6 months, a year from now.
Yeah.
Hmm. But it is fun to talk about. Yep, yep.
Hmm.
So let's see what's been going on in the chat. I haven't even looked in there yet because we've been
It's
blabbing.
been it's been pretty busy in there.
Now, yesterday I came on. I was solo yesterday, and Michelle.
You
Oh my
were.
God, because you and Dan and everybody started flooding in. But
Hmm.
but that was after a while. Okay, I had already started the show, did the cards of the day. I was going through I was going through my slides, uh, about the upcoming shows, the sale, and all that kind of stuff. and the coffee page to buy us a cup of coffee, because there was no one in the chat room and no callers.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is worse than Monday. Monday was bad too, but it picked up pretty quick. Tuesday was not picking up.
Yeah.
I even took a break. You know what I did? I don't know. I don't think you guys were on yet, but like I switched over to this panel, and I told everybody, I said, I'm going to take a break for a minute. I'll be back. And I just right in the middle of the show live, I just put this up, this banner, and I went over to the PM on Facebook Messenger with all the hosts, and I just typed in, "Hey, I'm live. Here's the link to." And that's when people finally started showing up. You popped in, Dan popped in. I
Mhm.
think Dan was first. Charlotte
Yeah.
came later. Grand Madame Tarot popped in, and it was just hilarious because I was like, I'm just gonna take a break. I'll be back. Because there was nobody in it. And this is the thing about the lives. Um, I don't think of the lives quite as even though we're still, we're simulcasting on radio. I don't think of it like the radio shows, even though we have the intro and outro music, and a show would have a format and everything like that. Lives, and actually, different people do their lives different ways. Some do it more like a show, and it's very regimented. But most lives are people that have a channel that spend a lot of time making videos, recording them, editing them, making the thumbnail, making them perfect, finally putting them up on the channel, right? And then when they do lives, it's just to hang out with their following that watches all
Right.
their pre-recorded stuff. Yeah. So it's usually very cash, and that's what I'm feeling like with our lives too, even though we do have the radio simulcast component. I'm sorry, everybody that listens through Blog Talk and all the players everywhere, the live players for the shows and everything, and that it may be less and less like a show. I mean, some of the shows, like Compassionate Light and everything, are going to have that format to it, where it's I'm doing air quotes if you can't see because you're not on YouTube. uh hey, look, I figured out how to get the balloons to go up. You do air quotes, okay. Yeah, um I'm sorry if it's not that really professional. um what's the word for it, like
Regimented. Hmm.
I already said regimented. Yeah,
You did.
professional, regimented, spit shine, like perfect thing. It's like I want it to be more casual now, and just because,
Yeah.
especially because
Yeah.
it's us, it's supposed to be us hanging out at the cafe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it looks
So
like it's busy in there.
it's getting busy. Nancy's in there,
Yeah.
Charlotte and Dan, and Nilda is back, one of our regulars, and Grand Madame Tarot, and
And
Kay. I see
and
Kay.
Nicholas.
Oh, is Nicholas in there now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Nicholas. Oh, there he is. He
Yeah.
popped in and just said hi. That's right. That's one of our lifetime members, Nicholas. Nancy's in there. Oh, Nancy said nothing like old coffee houses in San Francisco in the 60s. I frequented one called Orion with good music and food.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Nancy, that's one of the places that I had coffee places, was San Francisco, you know. But I lived in San Francisco in the 90s and loved the coffee culture and everything. They did put Starbucks in Castro, though.
Mm.
But there was a chain of coffee houses in San Francisco called Ooh La La, like the French Ooh La La. And we had 9 locations in San Francisco, and I managed the well, I managed various locations, and then I managed the whole thing at one point.
Hmm.
Yeah, we kept changing hands, owners and banks and all this kind of stuff. It was really weird. But yeah, if you lived in San Francisco in like the 90s or maybe even the early 2000s, it was called Ooh La La. And we had a big one in the towards the marina. We had 2 downtown, and we had one that was at the the mall on Market Street, which is now going away. I mean, it's like everything's pulling out, like Macy's and everything. It's like getting really bad because of all the homelessness and everything. When I lived there, you didn't have any of that. So they totally. I'm getting a lot of feedback. Do you have a feedback going on or something? I don't know. I'm hearing talking or noise or something. Anyway, so it was fine up till like I left, which was probably 1998, before the turn of the century. And then it just went downhill, it's hilarious too, because like the cost of living there, the price to rent is 6 times what it was when I lived there, but the quality of life has gone into the toilet, because I mean, you're spending $6,000 to rent a flat, and you step out of your apartment building and you have to step over the homeless people and be careful not to step into the shit, because they defecate all over the street, the sidewalks and streets and everything. It is
Hmm.
god awful and disgusting, I gotta tell you. uh
Goodness.
yeah, what's Dan saying in there? King of Coffee, Charlotte said. Dan said the 20 tank brewery was awesome in San Francisco. Oh, that's cool. Yep. Oh man. So let's see here. I guess we could do the cards of the day.
Good.
Um, so it's the 21st, so that's the 3 energy, creativity and communication, which we had yesterday in the date. The date today reduces to 4, which is structure. And then I got the moon card. Yes. And it's so hilarious because I don't know if Jay Francis is back in the chat with us today. I don't think she's back yet or in here yet. But she asked about meanings for the moon card yesterday. And then, I shuffled and everything, shuffled this morning, and it comes back up as, the card of the day. I I just I gotta tell you, I love the synchronicities. It's just amazing. And I went through the whole story of the moon card and what a lot of tarotists, think, but I'm not going to go through the details. Instead, I'm just going to talk about, like advice and everything, because it's the card of the day. And, there's like a few things with the moon card. When I see the moon card, it's either, the advice that pops in my mind is like everything from dreams to things not being clear to a warning. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so like the moon's light that's being cast is a reflection of the sun's light. So you never get as clear an image as you would with sunlight, right? So moonlight casts shadow. So it talks about, refers to shadow elements in your life, and also literally shadows where things are not clear. So one of the things that can be not clear is, what's the motives of other people? Okay. what else can be not clear is whatever the situation you're dealing with, or a thing at work, or a family matter, or whatever, what's the hidden parts you're not seeing? Oh, and speaking of motives of other people, what about your motives? You might not fully understand what your own motives are in a situation, right? um it also could be a warning because of all that shadow and so forth. A warning of danger, keep your eyes peeled and your ears open, because you might not see it coming, you might miss it, you might not know it's there. um this card also comes up when people are having fear and anxiety. A lot of times fear is the acronym, false evidence appearing real, but a lot of times the fear is real, because it's our defense mechanism. So it might be an indication to, take a look at that. um just like the 7 of Cups, the Moon card can talk about illusions, like uh you don't have a clear picture of things. uh and even beyond that, you might be, it might be more of a fantasy that you've built up, or an illusion you're seeing, than what really is. And then lastly, I want to mention dreams, because that's like probably the, when I get the Moon card, that's probably the number one thing is going on, is it has something to do with dreams. So the Moon card shows up to say, pay attention to your dreams. It may indicate things coming through your dreams, or it might be advice that you need to pay attention to your dreams, or you need to program your dreams, to get information from your dreams. So there's a lot of the different possibilities with the Moon card today. What about you, Michelle?
Well, I drew the Page of Swords.
Oh, look at that one. Which deck's that again?
This is the Tarot of Dreams by
Ciro
Tira
Marchetti.
Marchetti.
Oh,
Marchetti.
I love it. You got the nice box and everything.
Oh, yes. It's a beautiful deck. But with this card, I am seeing that you need today to be the eyes and the ears for some news that is coming your way. But don't be too quick to jump into action. Take this news or this opportunity. Um, I feel like it's more news because it's swords. There's some thoughts or some ideas. Take it and really chew on the ideas, chew on the thoughts. If it's news that's coming in, really take your time to study it out before you jump into action. And then with that card, I also drew a second card for the day. I drew the Strength card, which kind of goes with this other card here because you're going to need the strength to really not jump into action, but to really take the time to think today. So
Mm,
that's what I get for the card of the day.
nice. Very nice. Very nice. And oh, real quick, I got to give out the phone number because we haven't done that yet, but we already
Ooh.
have some calls in there. So if you're watching us on YouTube, you can actually call into the radio switchboard and talk with us live at 714-816-4628. Press 1 on your dial pad as soon as you get through. That puts you in the caller queue, and otherwise you're going to be at the bottom of the queue, the bottom of the list, and we're just going to assume you're listening to the show. But if you want to raise your hand and move to the top of the caller queue, just dial in 714-816-4628 and press 1 as soon as you get through, and that'll pop you up to the top there. Also, well, as long as I had that up earlier, I should mention that you can go buy us a cup of coffee at psychic.cafe/coffee. Someday we're hoping that we're going to, get to the point where we can do, super chats. But right now, this is our way of doing super chats because we're not monetized yet. So, here on YouTube. So this is our tip jar, and you can buy us a cup of coffee. Just open a new tab in your browser, type in psychic.cafe/coffee. And you'll be presented with some buttons there. You can buy us a cup of coffee, send us $10, $15, $20, whatever. Also, if you do that, we will pop you to the top of the caller queue and take your call first, no waiting, and first. Same thing in the chat. If you're in the chat and you buy us a cup of coffee, we will take your question first and no waiting. Whatever we're doing, a topic, cards of the day, numerology of the day, we'll skip everything, go right to the phone lines, go right to your call when you buy us a cup of coffee. That's right. You can do it in between shows. Like you can go to psychic.cafe/coffee, buy us a cup of coffee, and then you can run over and message me, psychic.cafe/dax. Now you have to be a member of the website. So go there, sign up, only takes a minute, it's free. And then you'll be able to message me from my page and say, hey, my name's Tim from area code 631. I just bought you a cup of coffee. I'm going to call in tomorrow. And we will look for you on the switchboard. We'll bring you into the green room, chat with you before the show even, and, get you all set up. And you're going to be like the first caller. And of course, if we get 2 or 3 of those, you'll be the first, second, third caller. And we won't do anything else until we've done your readings. Okay. So that's how you get to the top of the list, how you get on right away, no waiting. You don't have to wait for us to have our discussions, our cards of the day, our topics, whatever we normally do on the shows. We'll skip everything and go to your phone calls. Or if you tell us you're going to be in the chat, we'll skip everything and take your message, your question in chat. And you can also during that's in between shows, you can send me an email also, dax at psychic.cafe, or during live shows you can even do this. You can go over to, again, psychic.cafe/coffee, grab us a cup of coffee, and just let us know in the live chat during the live broadcast on YouTube. Just say, hey, I just bought a cup of coffee, and yeah, either in chat with your question or on the phone lines, we're going to bring you on first. So you can also talk to Michelle and I in between shows on our pages right here, psychic.cafe/Michelle, psychic.cafe/Dax. And you can book private sessions too. Maybe you don't want to, how do I usually say it? Kind of like air your dirty laundry in front of tens of thousands of people on air. You don't want to do that. So, you want a private reading or you want a longer reading. Because remember, we only can spend a couple of minutes with you. We can give you a best guess, kind of a direction on things. We can't get very specific. That requires pulling multiple sets of cards. We call them spreads. And, analyzing a lot of things, reframing questions, re-asking questions, pulling more cards. It's going to take, 20, 30, 40 minutes to get deeper. So go ahead and, book a reading with us. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I always forget. I'm getting better at it now, but I used to be so bad. I would go 4 or 5 shows and not even mention to subscribe because, I was into the groove, into the show, into the callers, the people in chat, doing the readings and everything like that, and I wasn't even trying to build the channel or anything like that. If we got subscribers, fine, but lately we've been doing good. We added like another, I don't know, 11, 13 subscribers recently. Like the last few days. You were telling me that I think you noticed that, how much it was getting closer and closer to that 500. That's when we could do super chats. We get to 500 and then we still have to get to 3,000 watch hours. Oh my God.
We're up to 435 subscribers.
Oh, it's even
So
better now than it was.
more.
That's like
Yes.
20 more in the last few days. Yeah.
Yeah.
So help us out, subscribe to the channel. Also help us out by liking the videos. And one thing a lot of people don't talk about is that what really boosts a channel is if you go in and say, hey, I'm going to find a video on the channel that I'm interested in, and I'm going to help them out at the Tarot Guild, Psychic Cafe, Psychic Talk, and I'm going to find one and I'm going to watch it from beginning to end, because the algorithm calculates everything. It's not just did someone watch a video, but it's like, okay, how long did they stay on? Did they watch the whole video, part of the video? How many times has the video been watched? All this different stuff. So you have to get 3,000 watch hours and 500 subscriptions in order to get monetized. And I don't even know what all comes with that first level of I can't even say it, monetization. But I know you get super chats. You're able to, I know Ellie said you're able to like start a subscription. I mean, when I say subscription, a membership through
Mm.
through your YouTube channel. Of course, we already have a membership at Psychic Cafe, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Why give YouTube a percentage? I don't. Yeah, I just don't
Yeah.
get that. It's like the people that early on were trying to get me to do Patreon, and I'm like, folks, Patreon is just all Patreon is a website that gives you a page that allows you to process payments. We already have that. We already have a website. We already have pages. We can make a page if we need a special page. We already have multiple uh
Yeah.
credit card processors. Why do we need Patreon? Why are we giving them 5% or 20% or whatever it is they take nowadays? It makes no sense. But I got all these arguments. Oh yeah, yeah, but all the creators all the creators use Patreon and blah blah blah. And it's like, well, first of all, not no, only a small percentage that I see use Patreon,
Hmm.
and because most of them have their own platform with their own products they're selling, like they're selling a course and they're giving all this free content away on YouTube, and a percentage of the people sign up for the course. That's their quote unquote Patreon. That's how they make money. And they were going on and on about, it's, well, but that's what all the creators on there are doing and everything like that. It's so good. It's like, well, but think closely. Patreon doesn't market. So, they don't go out and buy ads to
No.
send traffic to your Patreon. Do they? No, no. So how do you get traffic? How do people get traffic to Patreon? Through what they do, the content they create on their websites and on their YouTube channel. So they are, think of how big of a scam this is. Patreon
Hmm.
has to spend nearly no money promoting its product, its function, its
Yeah.
website. Okay. We promote it if we're using Patreon. We're on our YouTube channel creating valuable content and then saying, hey, visit my Patreon channel, my Patreon page, whatever, patreon.com/ whatever, or, however that works, because I don't use it and I don't care, you know, and worse, we are sending people to Patreon so that they can spend money to support us and for Patreon to then take a percentage cut. What a scam that is. Does no one else see this? Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. There are so many better ways to do it. Just go on to go on to PayPal, get a PayPal link, you know, uh I'm trying to remember how it goes. paypal.me/your name, and just put that up here on the screen in a scroll, and in the comments, or in the description, put the link in the description of your YouTube, and if they want to support you, have them go over and make a donation on PayPal or
Yep.
Venmo or Square, or you don't need Patreon or any other platform. Don't give them a percentage. Now, I do have to say there are one or two other platforms out there that are like Patreon that do not take a cut. So, search that out. Um, by the way, if worse comes to worse and you really need some kind of a landing page and you need some kind of functionality like you get on Patreon, I can put that on a website on a custom URL for you in like 2 hours. Message me. I'll do it for you for free. It's not, this is not rocket science, people. This is not rocket science. And I really, especially us that are spiritual entrepreneurs, because from working with literally thousands and thousands of tarot readers, as well as psychic mediums and astrologers, numerologists, I got to tell you, we're really great at what we do, and hypnotherapists and life coaches and everything else. We're really great at what we do, but most of us are really bad at technology. We're really bad at all of this stuff. And a lot of us, especially in the spiritual entrepreneur space, we don't have tons of money like, famous YouTube creators, or even people that, have big life coaching or therapist type practices where they're, 6-figure practice. We don't have that, as the average tarot reader, astrologer, what have you. So I hate seeing us give money away to these platforms when you don't need it. You can come to Psychic Cafe and get a free profile, and I will install payment links, and they can chat with you like you can on Patreon. They can do all the functionality that you can do on Patreon, you can do on Psychic Cafe, and it's free. Yeah. For now. So, get on there quick. There'll always be a free component, but some of the the really great features are going to become paid only, and it'll be our lifetime members at the guild and folks that sign up for our annual or monthly memberships that'll have access to that. But right now, everybody's grandfathered in, so join Psychic Cafe free. Get in there. Awesome. So let's see. The phone lines are starting to fill up. Michelle,
Ooh,
are you watching the chat?
I am. It's been pretty in conversational going on in there.
Oh, I love that. That's something else I wanted to mention. The last few shows, I don't know if it's going to happen on this show, but the last few shows, we've doubled and in some cases quadrupled the number of views even before the show live ended.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to have, like, the initial run through, people joining us 6 to 10, maybe 12. We've been hitting in the 20s, and we hit 42
Nice.
for the end of a show. It was a couple of shows ago. So I know Nilda said pull a card for me. You want to pull a card for Nilda?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to scroll
You're,
down. While you're doing that, I'm going to scroll down and look for additional questions.
all right. Hi, Charlotte from Zombieland.
She's zombie. She was going to come on the show today, but she was
Yeah.
up early in the morning and just zombied out. And I told her, I said that makes you the best reader, because you're already in that alpha state where you're, connected
Yes.
with your subconscious, and you can do great readings. So Meta Crazy says, I've been trying to figure out how to do the Zoom on live. do they even secure the website? I'm not sure what they're talking which part of the conversation they were talking about there. Do you take in other psychic medium to work with you guys? Yes, we do. That's the whole idea. The Psychic Cafe is our newest website where, we had psychictalk.net, which was for our shows and our radio hosts, and now radio and YouTube show hosts. And that's psychictalk.net. And then thetarotguild.com was our site. It's still is up there, but I'm building a new one for that and a new one for Psychic Talk. And that was where people joined that are practitioners. And it was, obviously tarot, right? The Tarot Guild, we've been around for 20 years now. Well, the Tarot Guild is stretching its wings for 2024, and we're taking in all practitioners, whether you're an animal communicator, a psychic medium, astrologer, numerologist, tarot card reader, oracle card reader, anything. And we created this new site, psychic.cafe, which is a social networking platform like Facebook, only without all the negative stuff in the ads. And so Psychic Cafe is aimed at our clients, you see. And then we all, as practitioners, can join Psychic Cafe. You'll have your own profile. We'll give you a custom URL like psychic.cafe/Michelle is Michelle's. I'm pointing up there because on my camera feed, she's up there, but I know she's actually over here or over here on YouTube. I think actually you are that way on YouTube on my end. So, but yeah, so that's what you do, MetaCrazy, is you sign up. And if you're wanting to do this as a business, if you're just coming on the site and want to hang out with us, whatever you do is fine, right? But if you're trying to do this as a business, so when you join Psychic Cafe, use your name as your username. So like I did Dax Carlisle altogether. And then go to your when you're setting up your profile, go to your profile, click on your avatar, the profile picture, put a picture of you, not your cat, not your logo. People want to buy from people. Okay, so you put a cover picture up, the header image, and then you put a avatar profile picture of you up there. Now, also you can use all that space for advertising. Yeah, and I've got a template that fits perfect. So if you want me to take an image and put some text on it, some arrows, phone numbers, things, just let me know and I can set that all up for you and everything. So you can use Psychic Cafe like you would your Patreon, whether you have a YouTube channel or you're a creator or not, just a practitioner, you can use it too, right? And if you join our lifetime membership right now, it's 75% off. You see it scrolling by there. It's just one payment of $78, the number of cards in the tarot deck. Don't worry if you're not into tarot. You can join the guild as any type of practitioner and get set up. And there's the URL right there, psychic.cafe/New Year. And we're still going to, even though New Year's over now, we still figure it's the beginning of the year. We're going to go through March. And it's just $78, one payment. You'll see the button on that page. Below that, you'll see another link if you want to make two payments. Somebody did that yesterday. You pay $39, and then next month you pay $39. Then you're paid up for life. So that's to make it a little easier on everybody. So Michelle, what did you get? A card for Nilda.
For Nilda, so I went down a little just to double check her message. So for Nilda, I got the 4 of coins.
Mm-hmm.
So are you saving for a rainy day? Because the next card I got is the 3 of wands. And so you're waiting for something. Something is coming in, or you're looking for an adventure, but something you need to save up some money for is coming in. And then the last card I got for the overall card is the star card. which
Oh
tells
yeah, I love that version.
and this card tells me if you save up your money and you search inside of you for what it is you're looking for, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to have fulfillment and contentment inside of you. So that's what I have for you, and I hope that was helpful.
Awesome. Hope that helped you out, Nilda. Venita or Venetia. I don't know how you would say that. I think it's Venita. And
Uh,
Benito wanted a general, and this is what I got. I got the Eight of Swords, and this is self-imposed restriction of some kind. Okay. So eight is abundance in numerology. Literally, their abundance is waiting to happen, and we're in a world year of eight. So this is even more powerful, Venita. You have the power to move forward on something that will lead to abundance and or prosperity in some area of your life. It doesn't have to just be finances, career, job, business. It can be relationships and everything too, and home life and other parts of your life, friends and family. So the message is that look at all those swords, too many thoughts and ideas. You are overthinking things. You are you're trapping yourself. You need to be, and this, I call it the mom card, Queen of Pentacles, the nurturing. This is one of the nurturing cards. You need to nurture yourself. And also, how can you nurture other people? How can you help other people? Your abundance is going to come through helping other people. On another front, just real quickly, because cars just kept flying out here, and I just have to say, there is a King of Cups waiting to come in, which leads to a really nice situation. So I don't know if you're already in a relationship or even married, possibly, but if you are, this is talking about getting to this point where it's happy family life and things are great, and it's through control of the emotions, because the King of Cups is the master of emotions. But if not, if you are looking, there is this potentially a water sign. I don't remember where all the water signs are. Pisces, Cancer. I can't remember them all. You guys let me know in chat. But possibly a water sign that leads to something really good there. Anyway, so that's what came through from the cards. Hopefully that'll help you out. What else was Meta Crazy saying? And then we're gonna take some phone calls. Got phone calls piling up here. Trying to see, talking about how to do the live. Are you trying to figure out how to do lives on your channel? So I live on death benefits. I don't get paid till the next month, the third. Oh yeah, I have friends that don't get paid till the third. Will it be going at the end of the month? You want to pull cards on that for Meta Crazy?
Will it be going till the end of the month? Yes.
Yeah, and then I'm going to look for more questions in here. Then we're going to take phone calls, folks. So if you're on the phone lines, hang in there. We're coming. By the way, I see a bunch of people haven't raised their hand. They're just listening to the show, which is perfectly fine. But if you want to be live on air, press the number 1 on your dial pad, and that'll push you up into the caller queue. And let me give out the phone number again, 714-816-4628 if you want to call in. Remember to press 1. Write that number down because it's good for our shows 7 days a week.
So the first card I got was the Palace of Coins, which is also in this deck the Knight of Coins. And then I also got the Eight of Coins. So I do see where you can make this last, and this could stretch out. I did get the death card as well. So whatever not necessarily addictions, but whatever you don't need, I wouldn't buy. This is a time to be very frugal. Hold on to anything you can, because the next card I pulled is the Queen of Coins. And she is very in control. So I would say yes, it will last. You just have to be very weary of doing things the right way. And that's what this is, your warning card. Just do everything the right way and it will keep going. So I hope that does help.
Awesome. And that was for Meta Crazy, right?
Yes.
I did see Justine come in, and I also wanted to mention that we got feedback from Nilda. I think it was when you were pulling cards for Nilda. She said, "My daughter's baby shower, and maybe take a cruise next year with my goddaughter."
Yeah.
Vanita said, "No, no relationship now or anything. Yes, looking. Thank you, Dax Carlisle." Okay, so she liked the reading. Cancer, Scorpio. Oh yeah, Scorpio is the water one that I see. I never think of Scorpio because I've dated Scorpios, and I never think of them as water. And the reason why is because I've dated Cancers that are water, and they're a certain way, and Scorpios are not that way. I'm just saying.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So Meta had said something about yes, I want to do a call in. Now that could the way they said that, and she kind of cut off, or he, I don't know if it's a he or she. You gotta let us know, Meta. Because you didn't put in a name that we could extrapolate from. That can mean multiple things. It could mean you want to call into the show. Well, phone number scrolling by down here. Okay. Or maybe she meant or he meant I think it's a she, but I'm guessing there. Uh might have meant I want to do a call in show. Maybe
Mm.
that's what got cut off. And by the way, everybody out there, this is how we're different than everybody else on YouTube, because everybody else is, individual creators and doing channels and blah blah. We're not that. We are a network. And so our thing here at Psychic Talk, I can't point at it, Psychic Talk and the cafe, is that we have a lot of hosts and different shows that have different topics and different things. So, for instance, we would like to get a show. We used to have a show with psychic mediums. We would like to get that going again, psychic mediums. We want a show on animal communication. We have shows on angels like the Angelic View. Mm-hmm. With Maria Moss. We have shows about, there it used to be just angels, but like Catherine figured out that, she really channels a lot more entities than just angels. So her show, Compassionate Light, is about channeling. All right. We'd like to have a crystal show again. Mary used to do a crystal show. I know that Charlotte does crystals and had a little crystal business going. We could have a store on Psychic Cafe where you sell crystals, Charlotte, and you could start a crystal show again. A lot of different, we talked about that yesterday too. We were supposed to do that on the show today. What groups we'd like to create on Psychic Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what I'm talking about now is like a little different, because what I'm talking about now is letting people know that you can come join us. And there's a couple of ways of doing it. You can come on as a guest co-host like Michelle is doing right now on a generic, our daily, I'd hate to use the word generic because it makes it sound not as good or something, but
I like daily.
our
Yeah.
daily psychic talk shows where sometimes I'm by myself, sometimes I have one or two or three co-hosts, and our members, paying members of the Tarot Guild, join the guild, and you can just come on as a guest co-host here and there. If you want to be a regular, we have a monthly fee for that. It's not a lot, and then you may decide at some point that you want to do your own show where it's you solo, you are the host, and it's your show. You pick the title, you pick the time and day you're going to have your show broadcast. And that's what Michelle did. Michelle was coming on here as a guest co-host because she's a lifetime member, and then decided to start her own show. So her show, which, hey, as long as we're talking about it, let's bring it up here real quick. I gotta go all the way down to it. Michelle's Mystic Corner, the second and fourth Saturdays. Yes. Which what that means is it's coming up in just a few days. Her second ever show. Michelle's Mystic Corner. Yes, the second, fourth Saturday. Yes. So she is on like Maria Moss, who does the first and third Sundays with the Angelic View. She's on twice a month. So like every other week, not counting the sometimes extra fifth week. Okay. Fifth one of those. Yeah. So you can do that. You can do a show every week on a specific day, like Catherine does on Fridays with her Compassionate Light. You could do a show just once a month. For instance, Mary used to do her crystal show, and it was once a month, the first Saturday of the month. So that's another possibility, and currently the fees are it's $47 a month for one show a month for a single show, $67 a month for two shows a month, like Maria does, and Michelle, and Sharona, when her show comes back, is twice a month. And then weekly is $97 a month. And that's like Catherine Hahn's show, and Wisdom of the Soul with Janice Fuchs and all. So that's the fees on that. Now, being a regular on a psychic talk show, meaning that it's not your show exclusively, where you're the host, the only host, and you have your custom title, and you're always on the same day and time and everything like that. You can come on as a guest co-host, and all of our lifetime members can pop on as a guest co-host and or get interviewed. But you can also pay a lower monthly fee, so it won't be like the 67, 97, 67, 47. It'll be lower than that, and you could be on regularly as a co-host on one of our many psychic talk shows all week long, and be a regular host. And so that's another way to promote yourself and your business. Let's see who's on the phone lines here. Gonna go to area code 347. Hello,
No,
call.
you're correct.
Hi.
Hey, hi.
Hi, what's your name, hon? Where are you calling in from?
Hi, this is Tanika. I'm calling from Florida currently.
In Florida. I remember that, Tanika. First of all, I remember your name and voice,
Yeah.
but also how it was the Long Island area code 347, but you're in Florida currently. I remember that. What's
Yeah,
going on with
don't know if
you?
it's still,
Welcome back on the show.
hi. So I don't know down here if I'm going to be here permanently or not. That's a whole big question mark if you guys say anything about that. But I just wanted to know if my current job, if I'm going to see losing this job anytime soon or anything like that. Because I had a weird call with my manager this morning, and I'm just not sure what's going to happen future-wise. So just wondering if you see anything with that or any changes coming up.
Michelle?
So any changes with your job?
Any changes? And is it like, is she going to stay in Florida? Like, is that part of the a component of it?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah. Well, see what comes up, Michelle.
Okay.
I'm sorry if I look distracted and like I was like, oh, Michelle can handle this. Meanwhile, I'm back over on the chat. Here I am reading the chat and everything.
No, you are good. And so I see that the first card is the Eight of Swords. And you have a lot of thoughts about this, but with that, I also drew the Eight of Wands. So it is time to maybe take some action on some of these thoughts that you're having about this job. So what you need to consider is, with the Three of Coins, does this job bring you any kind of peace, any kind of harmony, any kind of relief at the end of the day? Because if it doesn't, then it is time to move on from this job. Or if this job is ending, which the next card I got is the Seven of Coins. So if this job is ending, then maybe it's time for you to look for something that's more fulfilling. And it's time to be prepared for that to happen. So
Is it ending?
I would say it is definitely getting ready to end. Because the Seven of Swords, there's a lot of thoughts that are just too much going on. And then to get the Seven of Coins, there is more opportunities out there. So it's very
Is it thoughts
possible.
going on from there?
I'm sorry?
Is it thoughts going on from them towards me?
Yes, because you're the one trapped.
Mm.
So why are you trapped? Are you not taking enough action there?
Self-imposed
Well,
restriction.
job, well, the job is a remote job, and I'm new to the state, and I don't own a car. Pretty much everything is very spread out, but I didn't know if my job, the people there, was thinking that way towards me. Like, are they trying to move to get rid of me?
If you are not productive enough, and that's where the Seven of Coins comes in. If you are not productive enough, they will choose another person for the job. So if you are feeling like you are not productive enough, whether that is being late or being absent from work for whatever reason, then yes, they are considering that.
I see.
But just because they are considering it is not a definite yes or no. That is, there's still options out there. There's still time to make changes.
Mm-hmm. What is that? The
The 7 of coins.
I couldn't make it out. Oh, okay. Okay. I saw the tree and I was thinking 4 of cups for some reason.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
forgot that was a different card. Well, I hope that helped you out, Tanika. Thanks
Yeah.
for the call. Thanks for calling in. It's always nice when you call in and we get to hear back from you. I hope things work out with that. And you got to call us back and let us know what's happening with it all. And if
Yeah.
you stay in Florida and everything. But we got to get going because the time is slipping by here. And I've got Devyani. I want to say it the right. I always say I want to say how did I say it? One time I bastardized it. It was like Devani or something like that. But there's a Y in there, so I'm trying to say Devyani, and the way I'm saying it is flowing like Devyani. And they have a question I pulled cards on. Can I get guidance reading for me and Romil? Will there be any future in between us for long term? Okay, I know what you're going for. And I'm getting 3 out of 5 yes. So it is leaning that way. It's not 100%, but the reading, check this out, Michelle. The reading is bookended by the 10 of cups and the world card.
Nice.
Like you can't get better than that, right?
Yeah.
The central focus card is the 6 of pentacles. So, hey, 6 is the success card in numerology. And there's an inherent balance with the 6 of pentacles. He literally has a scales, which is balancing, kind of like the justice card. So it may require some balancing on, he's giving alms to the poor. So what's the analogy to that? Maybe it's the amount of time you're putting into the relationship and your home life versus work. And maybe you need to balance everything. Maybe that's what's going on here. He's showing up as the King of Cups. That's like the second time today, the same card showing up for the guy. Yes, I think that is really cool. So the King of Cups is, very assured of himself, emotionally stable and balanced and everything like that. Hey, you pronounced it correctly. Thanks, Devyani. Now, I already showed you the 10 of Cups. So that's the potential for happy family life, The only better thing than this, for those of you that are aspiring tarot readers, you get the 10 of Cups next to like the Hierophant or another typical marriage card, or like the 4 of Wands or something like that. You get combinations of cards which are even more reinforcing the coming together as a more permanent couple, so marriage or some other kind of committed relationship. But that's possible. And literally the whole world is yours. And that's the last card. Okay. However, there's always a fly in the ointment. Okay. So the 7 of Swords, there is something sneaky going on. There's some, and I'm sorry, I got to look this back up because I forgot the name already. What was the name again? I Romil, I think. Romil, Romel or Romil. Anyway, there's something you don't know about. Okay, there's something sneaky going on. I mean, it could be you have something that you haven't told him yet, but I just don't get that feeling. I get the there's, and it might not be something bad, real bad. It might just be a little something sneaky, but there's something that you don't know about that you need to check into with this relationship here. But it could, it's, and I think when I get 3 yeses or 3 nos, meaning it could really go either either way. Although this was 3 yeses, so it's leaning yes. What I'm normally getting with that, what that means is that there's something left to be done. And so that's why, right away I'm looking at the cards. Okay, so where's the fly in the ointment then? What's holding it back? What needs to happen? And it can be a lot of different things show up. But when like the 7 of Swords shows up, it's like, that's probably what you need to take care of before it'll be able to move forward. Oh, Farida is in there. Okay. And I think Dan was telling, might have been Charlotte was telling Metacrazy about, Robert Mace is in there. Hi, Robert. Telling Metacrazy, because Metacrazy was saying that they're new, and it's like, have you met Michelle? It's like, that's what we're here for. See, this is the thing. You can study and practice and become a psychic medium, psychic advisor, tarot reader, whatever your shtick is, whatever your bag, right? And you can go on Wix and build your own website and have it floating out there in the ether, and you could start your own YouTube channel even, right? The difference with us is we've done it all. And so you can come to us and we're going to help you make a better website. We're going to give you a platform where you may not even need a website. If you're not ready or worried about starting your own YouTube channel, we have a YouTube channel, Psychic Talk, and you can come on our channel and promote yourself and your business. And that's the thing, is we all support each other. And like, what I don't know, Michelle knows. And what Michelle doesn't know, Ellie knows, and what Ellie doesn't know, maybe Dan knows, or Charlotte, or Pamela, and so we all come together and support each other. And, the rising tide lifts all boats. So the idea is to, this website is brand new, literally getting in on the ground floor, and all of us creating content for and promoting this website will bring people in, where then we will be able to promote ourselves and our products, services, our readings, whatever it is that you want to promote. So it's doing it together as like a co-op versus doing it all on your own, where you have to figure out how to do a YouTube channel. You have to figure out how to run Blog Talk Radio. You have to figure out how to run a show. You have to figure out how to do a website. And then you have to get traffic to that website. Because remember, there's billions of websites now. They're floating out there, So janestarot.com, nice. You might have the prettiest website on the planet. How do you get people there?
Yeah.
But if you have, I'm not saying not have your own website, but if you have your own website, if you join Psychic Cafe and you get on these shows and you start making content and sending people here, then we're going to be able to promote your website and send people to your website. And then you get traffic, and then you get readings, you get purchases, you can sell your PDF downloads, your guided meditation audios. Maybe you created a deck. Maybe you created, maybe you've written a book. Maybe you've created a course. All of that stuff. Plus, we're going to have all the store functionality. So you don't have to figure out how to do it on your website. And on top of how to do it, it's expensive. Hundreds of dollars. But we're taking care of all that. Everybody pays a little bit, and then that pays for all the functionality. So we all have access to everything we need, to sell products. It can be physical products, digital downloads. It can be affiliate links from Amazon. Maybe you're an associate of Amazon and you want to sell certain products. You can put those on your page, on your profile, but also we're going to have stores. Each person will have their own store, and we'll have a main store for the whole cafe. And you can have your products on there with your affiliate link. So when they click it, it takes them over. They buy on Amazon, actually, and you get the commission. Yeah. So there's a lot of possibilities what you can do by joining Psychic Cafe. And compared to spending literally hundreds of dollars a month sometimes to set all that up and to drive traffic and buying ads and all the stuff, you know, right now you can join as a member for $78, you know, and when we start the monthly and the annual stuff, it's not going to be that much, you know. So you'll be able to it'll be like a fraction of what you would pay for a website, and then separately for e-commerce and separately for the store plug-in. And you know, this is $100 a year, this is $100 a month, this is, you know, it adds up. And so the individual practitioner, it's very difficult. But if we come together as a group of practitioners, then we can afford to do what the big boys do a lot cheaper, you know. So let's see here. We got to get out of here soon because I've got other things today. But let me check real quick.
All right.
Oh, I saw Charlotte on Facebook. She sent a picture of, she's got the cat and Wisdom of Elders Oracle, and says Edgar will be doing the readings today. Okay, well, why did you not bring why did you not bring Edgar on the video on the Zoom, Charlotte? You should have brought her on here.
Yeah.
Or him, sorry, him. Okay, so we might have time for, you know, if we don't get to your call or your question, remember you can call in tomorrow.
All right. So
what are you seeing in there? Did you?
I pulled a card for Farida.
Oh, good, because I remembered that someone had a question, and I thought it was Farida, but I wasn't sure.
It was, and she was asking, do you see me leaving my fake toxic marriage this year? And I feel like we've answered this question before.
For Farida?
Yeah, it just feels familiar.
I usually remember stuff like that, and especially if they're, you know, asking the same question over and over again. I remember the name Farida. I do not remember what they were asking, so I don't know if it's the same or not.
But I drew the Queen of Swords.
Okay.
Which tells me you already know the answer. You are overthinking, because if it is a toxic and fake marriage, then the next card I drew is the Knight of Wands, which means, and he is, okay, he is riding away from her. So it is time to take action and walk away from this marriage. Take control of your thoughts because you already know the answer, and take the action and step into reality.
Oh, wow. So I drew cards on that real quick, and the heart of the matter card was the King of Swords, you know, and he's saying to you already know the answer, like Michelle said. And it's basically swords are thoughts and ideas. The king is, you know, analytical. You know, obviously get out of the heart space and just be real about this. Be analytical about it. I got the Hanged Man and the Four of Swords, both of which are thinking outside the box cards and delay cards. So, okay, there might be a slight delay, but I did get, when I asked, you know, will you be leaving the toxic fake marriage. I got 4 out of 5 yes. It's very strong yes, it's going to happen. But there's a slight delay. And it's almost like you have to take a step back and look at this a different way, think outside the box. And then in between those two cards was the strength card. So you have to have the internal fortitude to look at it. God, I'm knocking my microphone and everything out of the way here. To look at it logically, okay, you have to have the strength to say no and look at it logically, think of an exit plan, figure it out, and then everything's going to be fine after that. You got the 7 of Cups showing up. There's another card of illusion. It's like, what fantasy do you keep running through your head about this? You already know that it's fake and toxic, so there's nothing to discover. It's not hidden, and then once you do that, guess what shows up? The 2 of Cups. So there's potential for a real relationship after you get rid of the toxic one. Edgar's currently draped around my neck at the moment, soaking it all in. That is so cool. And Dan was saying in chat, Farida, it could have been a similar question from another person. It might not have been you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because we get a lot of them, and there could be 2 Faridas have been in.
Oh, that's very possible.
Very possible, because we have a lot of people from all around the world. Okay. I was just looking for more questions in there. I don't see any more questions. On the phone lines, there's people called in. They don't have their hand raised, so I'm going to assume they're just listening to the show. So, Michelle, I think it's time to get out of here. But before we do that, I just want to remind everybody, shows every day of the week, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, 7 p.m. London, UK. And then I want to mention that this coming Friday, of course, I'll be back tomorrow with a psychic talk show. I don't have anybody scheduled. So I think Ellie was thinking I'll have to contact her tonight, see if Ellie can pop in. Michelle, you're welcome to come back. Charlotte, if you want to finally pop on with Edgar. Yes, we're going to be the only channel that has Edgar, the mystic card reading cat. And then Friday it'll be Compassionate Light, and keep our fingers crossed that Catherine will be able to make it back. She's been having some problems. So she had to miss Friday's show last Friday, and she was going to record it, but then she started getting sick. See, her son had gotten sick. He got better. Her other son got sick. Then she got sick. It's been awful, and I told her, don't worry about recording the information from last Friday. Just do your live show this coming Friday and do both, because it's her wrap up for February. And I forget, she's doing a whole series of shows over 3 months, dealing with each month with either the soul, mind, body, right? And I think this month was soul. So check that out this Friday. And then Saturday, I'll be guest co-hosting with Michelle on her show, Mystic Corner, where I hope she's ready, because she has to do all the talking because it's her show. I can finally
I'm going speechless.
I can finally not have to talk, and it's like you have to do all, but now you have to remember everything that has to be said, everything that has to be promoted on the shows. So you better make notes. You better do notes. Hey, your camera's not working. I'm not seeing you. It's like you turn your camera on, but it's black. And then also, just to finish up, the Angelic View will be back with Maria G. Moss on the first Sunday. So that is March 3rd. And then the New Year sale is going on for, at least another month. I may change the name of it, because I'm getting tired of this New Year banner, Michelle.
Right.
I might change it to, I don't know, the Shamrock sale or something, the lucky sale for March, because we've got St. Patrick's Day coming up. I might do something crazy or just call it the sale. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. The sale.
Yeah. Or like the first quarter of 2024 sale, because it's going on the entire quarter. So yeah, it's still going on. Remember, you can book a session with me. If you're wondering about your business, especially if it's anything that's spiritual, entrepreneurial, I specialize in that. So it's business coaching, success coaching, life coaching, as well as tarot and numerology in my sessions, right? And they're half off. 50% off. You save $50 because it's $99.99 for a full session normally, $49.99 right now. Great way to start out the new year. And then our lifetime thank you, Michelle. And then our lifetime membership is 75% off. One payment of $78 or two payments of $39. And I didn't even charge for the extra processing fees. I'm just going to eat that. Okay. So it's just an even split down the middle there. So one payment of 78 or two payments of $39, one now and one next month. And you are signed up for life as a member of the guild. Remember, again, we're open to anything psychic, anything related, spiritual, entrepreneurial. You could be a spiritual coach, a life coach. You could be a Reiki master. You could be an astrologer, a numerologist, psychic medium. You could be a tarot reader, anything along those lines, any kind of card reader at all. And you can join the guild. One payment is 78, two payments is 39. You get all the benefits, plus all of our workshops, classes, ongoing panel discussions and Q&As where you can ask the experts, you can ask the people that have already done this as a business, how to build your business, what to do, where to advertise, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And also get tips on the practice itself, like the readings, the numerology charts, doing numerology, anything along those lines as well. So it's a really great membership, and the lifetime membership's going away. We may pull it out here and there for a Black Friday for a couple of days, for the new year for a couple of days. Maybe in 2025 it'll come back, but it won't be $78. It's normally $297. So it's going to be up there if and when it comes back, and for how many days it'll last, because we're not going to have it on sale like this ever again. Meanwhile, you can still join, but it's going to be a monthly or an annual membership. All righty. And remember, you can run over and buy us a cup of coffee, psychic.cafe/coffee. Yeah, I don't know what happened to your camera, Michelle.
I don't know. Yeah,
it's weird. You're like all black up there.
Yeah, my computer froze up, but it's still letting me talk. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. Well, we can still hear you, so that's perfectly fine. Oh, right. Meta Crazy. I'm looking in there. Okay, so Meta Crazy says, we got to get your actual name so we can call you, Susan, Linda, whatever. But Meta Crazy says the Aquarius sale.
Ooh.
That's actually cool.
Yeah.
Aquarius. I could just see that. Aquarius. Oh, first name, last name. Got here just in time. And Charlotte was telling Firespawn, oh, never mind, I'm late. Yeah, we're getting out of here, Firespawn. Come back tomorrow and you can ask a question. First name, last name. You're late. Where were you? 12 noon Mountain Time. Yeah, it is 11 a.m. Pacific, 12 Mountain. I don't know what mountain all covers, but I think possibly Utah, but possibly I want to say Nevada, Colorado. I'm not sure what it all covers. New Mexico, New Mexico. Now,
Jill.
we're actually on Mountain Time right now here in Arizona, but that's because we don't change our clock. So in March, when we go on to daylight savings, we'll be on Pacific West Coast time. We'll be on Pacific time. So the shows will,
Mhm.
so for me right now, the shows start at noon like they do for Charlotte, but in March, they'll be starting an hour earlier at 11, which means I have to wake up earlier. Oh my God. Wow. Wow. And then it's 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. London. Okay.
And Meta Crazy, her
Yeah.
name is Jill. It is nice
Jill.
to meet you, Jill.
Yes, yes. So if you're doing this professionally, when you come over to Psychic Cafe and sign up, put your name in as Jill. So that, and put your actual profile picture so people know who you are and all. And you can control all that in the preferences. Like it asks you to put your first name and last name, but you can have it only show your first name, for instance, if you prefer that. You could also put in, if you put in something like, tarot by Jill, or medium Jill, or psychic medium Jill, or anything along those lines is okay. At least as long as you get your first name in, so people know you're a person and they can see your picture and they can talk to you, or message you, and when you and also it cuts down on confusion. Oh, by the way, if you already have a profile on Psychic Cafe, folks, just go there and under preferences and everything, you can change the username. You can put in, well, it might not let you change the actual username, but the display name you can change for sure. I think that's actually in the about section. You go down in the about section and you hit edit next to your first name, edit next to your last name, change that, you know some people go first name Tarot, second name by Jill, something like that. That's perfectly fine, but it's just to cut down on confusion, because if you start coming on these shows as a co-host, and you're here on the you're here on the show as Jill, and then they go over to Psychic Cafe and try to find you, and your Meta Cafe over there, they're going to get confused. And by the way, all this information I'm giving out is not just for Jill. It's for all of you. If you're just a listener viewer and you just want to join for free the Psychic Cafe website, and take advantage of all of the features, like Facebook that we have, and hang out and join groups and talk about psychic things and listen to our shows and watch our shows and stuff and just hang out with us, that's perfectly fine. But if you want to be a practitioner on Psychic Cafe, set yourself up correctly now. You know, Preferably, unless you have some really strong reason you need to be anonymous, preferably use your whole name. Like I use my whole name. I'm Dax Carlisle on there, and that cuts down on confusion. And you want to have the same name across all of social media. So I'm Dax Carlisle on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Psychic Cafe, everywhere. I use the same picture and the same name. Now, if I update my picture because I got drastically different looking and old, then I'll do that. But then I will go to every single platform and I will change out the picture to my new updated picture. You have to have consistency because you're branding yourself. These days, we are the brand. All right. It's not a business. People don't want to buy from businesses anymore. They don't want to buy from cosmictarot.com. They want to buy from Jill. They want to buy from Michelle Metheny. They want to buy from Dax Carlisle. They want to buy from Charlotte Kornberg. They don't want to buy from even Jason's tarot. It's better to use your whole name and just be you, to be honest with you. But you can kind of still get away with that. If you don't want your friends knowing that you do tarot, I think it's a big mistake, but I'm not here to judge. So, I'm just telling you my experience, but you can go ahead and be, tarot by Jason, that's fine. Something like that, as long as they know you're a person and that you're consistent. I've seen people create a brand, but then they're not using their name or their full name, but then on Facebook they are. On Facebook they're John Johnson, and then on something else they're Tarot by John. That's not too bad. But like if you were using something that doesn't have your name in it at all, and then you're Dan on this one, and then you're something else on this other one, and it gets very, and you have a different picture on each one. I've seen ones where they have this old picture of them on this one. On LinkedIn they have their newest picture. On Facebook they have a picture of their cat. Oh boy. Anyway, so there's a little bit of advice for our aspiring professionals out there in the psychic area, the spiritual entrepreneur. Okay, so there's, oh my gosh, they are just talking up a storm, and I have not had time to read it in the chat, so I got to end here and then go and read all of this. Michelle. Yeah.
Yep.
So let's get out of here, and I'll see you all tomorrow. And thanks for hanging out with me, Michelle.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry my computer froze at the end, but
that's okay. We got your audio.
Yep.
And on radio, they're just hearing you anyway. So,
yay. Right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.